Hello. I'm cheating a little bit and I'm recording this video right after my one from yesterday, so if you haven't seen that, I would suggest going and checking it out because these pretty much flow right into each other. We were finishing that off with a bit of a tangent, and that's going to become this video, which is accepting past decisions. 3 or 4 years ago, when I was living at home with my parents, bless them for allowing me to stay home and save a butt ton of money, which allowed me to make a down payment on a beautiful downtown condo in Ottawa. Doing some work right now, so we'll have to wait for any tours, but if you guys do want, please let me know. What's so amazing about going through reality here is that, let's say it's 4 years ago. 4 years ago, this is what I wanted, okay? I remember being at work one day and talking to some people, one of my colleagues there, and she brought up this building actually, and she was looking at some of the lofts in this building, and she kind of got me onto it, and I had walked by it a couple times before, and I was like, I'd like to live there. And I actually visualized myself living here. I'm not joking. I had no idea what I was doing at the time, but I visualized myself living here, and not just living here, but living here in a very similar-ish kind of unit to the one I have, kind of what part of the building, what floor and all that. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was tapping into my reality now, okay? That's gonna be another video. But what I'm talking about specifically here is I visualized being here and I wanted to be here. This was my main desire. I looked at homes for 6 months, which I know is not a crazy amount of time, but for me, never looking at properties before, I was looking for about 6 months. I had all kinds of influence from different people about what they thought I should do. And all of those options may have turned out to be beautiful options, but they weren't the one that I wanted. Okay, and it took me a while to actually come to terms with what I wanted, which then happened to be perfectly within my budget, exactly what I could afford to do. And it was an incredible experience to go through buying and owning and living so far, year 3 in this condo, this building, in this little reality that I've created for myself. And I'm so happy and grateful that I did that. And now I'm thinking, okay, I've been here for 3 years. I love this place, but I'm also ready to start exploring about what my next position's going to be. Does that mean I move in a year? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I've come to terms with the fact that I made the decision that this is what I wanted. I love the fact that I did that. Regret is a waste of time, okay? Going through things and accepting pros, cons, not a waste of time, because you're just analyzing your data. But dwelling on regret, that's not helpful. Personally, I like to do the positive emotions. So for here, it's the gratitude, it's the love, it's the peace, it's the safety, the tranquility of my current environment is just, I could not have picked better, okay? Right now, it's work from home, it's live at home or else go outside wearing a mask. So this has become my little safe haven, my sanctuary, and I am so forever grateful for it. And this place will hold a spot in my heart forever, okay? And that goes into the whole idea that letting go of this place doesn't diminish that in any way. All right, so there was a point in my life 4 years ago where this is what I wanted, and I did everything, knowing or unknowingly, to get it. I had a vision of what I wanted, I accomplished it, okay? Which is a major thing in my life. I was going from living at home with my parents to living on my own in a downtown luxury condo building, which I have afforded and rocked, no worries. So I love and accept that I did that. And I can look back now at Alex then and say, hey, good job. Do it again, right? I wouldn't change a thing. I love that. And that brings me to the point where I am now, which is being able to be completely at ease, and the gratitude and the love that I feel for myself. It's almost unexplainable. You have to go and you have to look. through your life, find the times, the moments, the plans where you're like, okay, I wanted the thing that I have now. Even if you're not happy with the thing you have now, that's the key. I'm not saying I'm not, because I still love this place and it's perfect. Well, nothing's perfect, but it's great. But go back in your life. Let's say it's a home or a car or a relationship, something big, okay? Go back and think about what you thought about it before you had it. What was those emotions? What were those feelings? What was the process? What was the visualization? What was the hard work that you had to do, right? And cherish that. Go back and appreciate and love the fact that you went through all of that, okay? I don't know what your individual processes are, but for me, it was almost pining over the website, getting the brochure, the book, and looking at the units and visualizing myself in it, and conversations and arguments with my parents about where I should move in my life. And then looking at that as that was a process, and then being now is my result. So I can look at those as two separate things that led from one to the other. And I can't go back and change the past, so all I can do is go back and love the past, okay? I can't say whether that works for absolutely everything ever, but find something that you're happy about, maybe, right? I'm happy to be in this place, this home. A home, everyone has to live somewhere, okay? Whether that home is planet Earth, a street corner, a $20 million mansion, $200 million mansion, is irrelevant. You have to live somewhere, right? You have to consider somewhere a home. And if you're with people or without people, or still living with parents, or still in a position where you're under 18 and you're not even considering moving out, you gotta love and appreciate it, nonetheless. And I'm using this specifically as the example for the process, which is going back and saying, okay, how did I accomplish where I'm at right now? And home is a really good example, but maybe a car would work better, or maybe a nice watch would work better, or whatever resonates with you. Find a 3D thing in this world that works for you and appreciate how you got it. Maybe write it down, right? It goes back to the beliefs. This is what we're talking about all the time. The only thing we're talking about is belief. And I believe that I created the reality I have right now. So I'm going back to see how I did it. Because 4 years ago, I had no idea what I was doing from a metaphysics standpoint. I knew what I was doing. I wasn't just walking around blind, but it feels like I was walking around half asleep, which I think is why they call this an awakening. Whether that ever ends or whatever, I don't know. Maybe another video. But go and appreciate the thing you have. Go back and see what you went through to get it, and enjoy that memory reel. For me, I can visualize memories very well. I can go back and I can live through those experiences from a feeling standpoint. That might be harder or easier for some of you guys and girls out there, but for me, I can go back and I can see myself at the counter at the bank getting the $14,000 cash order that I needed for my down payment. And I remember the feeling that I had when I asked, is like, is this actually cash? And the lady on the other side of the till is like, yeah, that's cash. That's not a check. That's 14 grand cash on a little slip of paper. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought this was more like a check where it didn't matter if I lost it, but it did. And I was still working I was halfway through a shift at the fruit company. So I ended up having to keep that in my pocket because I didn't trust anyone to put it in a safe or anything there. I was like, nope, I'm just going to pretend this doesn't exist. And I'm downtown in a busy mall for Ottawa. Well, so not really that busy, but surrounded by people who I don't know, with this, at the time, the largest cash transaction I'd ever had in my life, sitting in my pocket for another 6 hours, whatever, no big. But I know that feeling. I can go back and I can feel what it feels like to have that money sitting in my pocket. So it's like, it was a little nerve-wracking, but also it kind of makes it almost like cheating. I can go back and I can remember what it felt like to have 14 grand sitting in my pocket. We'll see what that means, if I can dwell on it or not. Because nothing bad happened, right? The next day I went and I gave the transaction, the down payment to the real estate agent who was representing the building. I was there with my realtor. Everything went very smoothly. I was nervous as hell because I'd never given anyone that much money. But I can go back and I can remember those processes as a little mind movie and as the feelings, okay? And we're gonna talk another time about the feelings, because I have a whole theory on past feelings versus future feelings versus how that all kind of works in together. So that'll be another video, getting on long for now for me. And we're gonna end this one here. Peace.